morning, YouTube. Good morning, world. Good morning to everybody. Louthewritersports back with you once again, and hope everybody out there staying safe, living their lives, and basically doing you. Other than that, hope everybody doing okay. Now, this question kind of pondered my mind last night while watching that Warriors and Milwaukee Bucks game. If Michael Jordan, Larry Bird, and Magic Johnson was playing in today's NBA, would they be loved or would they be hated? Because when it comes to these little, because when it comes to basketball, you love these guys for what they can do on the court, and sometimes we can hate these guys for things they do on the court. But you playing in an era with Kevin Durant, LeBron James, Carmelo Anthony, Steph Curry, um, Giannis Antetokounmpo. With these guys, you are playing with these guys, and you still will have and you still have Matt Johnson on the Lakers. You still got LeBron, Michael Jordan on the Bulls. You still got Larry Bird on the Boston Celtics. Would they have the same success that they had in the 80s and 90s in today's game? That's what you got to question, because the rules they had to play with are not the same in today's game. They will probably play a whole lot of different type of rules. So let's say Larry Bird, Michael Jordan, and Magic Johnson all came in the NBA 2003 just like LeBron James. Now, if Magic Johnson would have still came to the Lakers as a rookie in 2003, he'd be in the best situation right now because he playing with Kobe Bryant, Shaquille O'Neal, um, Karl Malone, Rich Fox, and Derek Fisher. Now, will Magic Johnson be starting point guard on that 2003 Lakers team? That's as a rookie, because if I remember right, I think he did start as a rookie for that Lakers team back in 1979. Because he would, because at that time he did play with Kareem as a rookie, and he won the NBA title as a rookie. And I I think, but that season, the 2003 season, was the year the Spurs won. Now, will Magic be playing point guard as with the Lakers in 2003, or will he be playing the power forward position or the small forward position? Would he be doing the same thing that LeBron is doing in today's game, and playing the point forward position? Now that's what you got to ask right there. And people will probably in the media and people like it will probably get on Magic Johnson saying, "Oh, he don't shoot the ball enough. He passed the ball way too much." Oh, is Magic Johnson able to put up 25 to 30 points a game? Like, oh yeah, he got triple doubles, but he's not winning. And plus, he if Magic was playing on that 2003 Lakers team, he would have to make sure that Kobe Bryant and Shaq get their shots, because Kobe Bryant would have been probably shooting the ball way more in the Magic Johnson, and Shaq would command that ball down low more. Matter of fact, that team, he would have been playing with Kobe Bryant all the way up to Kobe Bryant retirement, or he would have been traded or signed somewhere else as a free agent. Because I don't see Magic Johnson playing his whole career with the Lakers. if he would have came in 2003. The way the league is, he would want to go somewhere and establish himself as a star. So if Magic and Kobe would have played their whole career together to Kobe retirement, hey, it would have been great. But now let's talk about Larry Bird. Now, Larry Bird would have came on that 2003 Boston Celtics team. That team wasn't great. That team was okay, but not that okay. Now with Larry Bird, now we are we now this is the at this time Larry Bird has not suffered that back injury yet. Larry Bird is still the same guy who who putting up buckets in college and who who probably as a rookie. Hold on, people. I gotta see. I gotta take care of something. Now on that 2003 Boston Celtics team, you got man, what the hell? Okay, I'm on basketball records right now. On that 2000 at that time, Jim O'Brien was the head coach, and on that roster, that 2003 Boston Celtics roster, they did not have other than Paul Pierce, they did not have any type of stars with him. Now, would Larry Bird and Paul Pierce be a dynamic duo on that Boston and on 2003 Boston Celtics team? I beg to differ because he would have came in as a rookie. Because if y'all don't remember, when Larry Bird came to the Boston Celtics, he was able to get a whole lot of shots up. Now, with Larry Bird be playing small forward or the power forward position, that's what you gotta add too. Because if Larry Bird would have been playing the small forward, I think he would have been able to go out there and put up at least 17 to 18 17 to 19 points a game. And he probably would have been that in his rookie year. And he probably would if he was still the same player he was his whole career in Boston, he probably would start put up better numbers. Now, the thing you got to ask, well, Larry Bird would have played with the Boston Celtics long enough for the time for him to be on that team with Rondo, um, Kevin Garnett, and Ray Allen, or would he have been traded in a deal to get those guys to Boston? Because if Larry Bird would have put up the same numbers that basically he was doing at the time with the Boston Celtics when he played with them, he probably would have been in that Kevin Garnett deal. I think Larry Bird would have finished his career with probably a couple of different teams, like Minnesota Timberwolves, or he would have been sent to a championship contending team to play with them to try to win a championship. Now, I think that would have been the case. Now, Michael Jordan, would he have now would Michael Jordan still be the same player in today's game as you would have played? Okay, now it's 2003 with the Chicago Bulls. Oh shoot, see if y'all want to come in. I forgot to put that out there. Now that 2003 Chicago Bulls team, Bill Cartwright was the head coach, and John Paxson was the GM at the time. Now on that 2003 Chicago Bulls team, Pippen, you had Scottie Pippen, who was in his 16th year. You had Jalen Rose, who was in his ninth year. You had Kendall Gill. You had also had Ronald Dupree, who was in. I mean Antonio Davis, who was in 10th year, and Eddie Curry. They thought that Bulls team could the team for a championship. Now, if you drop, cause now if you drop if Michael Jordan would have got drafted with the Bulls in 2003, you drop him in that situation. Would he have played as much as a rookie that he did when he first got to the Bulls? Because remember, in the last dance, Michael Jordan said, "I would have went after the big dog on the team." Now, if my understanding right, the big dog on the team at the time was probably Eddie Curry. And plus, as a rookie, Michael Jordan probably averaged what 28 points a game. Now, would he have done that as rookie that in in 2003? That's like would he be? Wow, would you probably been in like a guy averaging at least 22, 22 to 24 points a game? Because the reason why Michael Jordan probably averaged so much points when he first started out, because basically the Bulls didn't have nobody on their team. Nobody. Now, I want to see. Okay, okay, I'm gonna go back to '84 now. Now, m- as a rookie, Michael Jordan played 38.3 minutes per game. Then that second year, when he suffered that foot injury, he played 25 1 point minutes a game. Then after that, 40, 40, 40, 39, 37, 38, 33, 39. Like, he probably would have played those. You got to ask, if Jordan was a draft in 2003, would he have played all those type of minutes in his game from on out? And would he have still retired from the NBA in '93 like he did? Would he? Because I don't think Jordan wouldn't retire. Now Jordan's best season, he had 37.1 points per game. That was in his third season with the Chicago Bulls. I believe he would have been averaging at least 28 to 32 points a game because you got asked if you would have played his first 7 years with the Bulls starting from 2003, 2003, 2004, 2005, from 2003, 2009, would he have stayed with the Bulls all those years, knowing what free agency is today? That's what you got to ask right there. Would he have been like, man, the hell with this? I'm gonna go play. I'm gonna go somewhere else to play basketball because plus would he have got convinced guys to come to Chicago? Because if Jordan would have basically built convinced guys to come to Chicago and build a sure like super team, they they would we would have been hating on Jordan's ass. We would have been talking shit about Jordan. Talking about he couldn't do it without super team. Like today we sent talking about he could not win a championship without Scottie Pippen. So if you remember right, the Bulls wanted to trade Scottie Pippen for Tracy McGrady. That was back in 1998 because Tracy McGrady was not everybody was expecting that if they would have traded that pick for Scottie Pippen to Toronto, they would have probably picked up Tracy McGrady. So and McGrady and now hold on, I can't remember what year Tracy McGrady came. Okay, Tracy McGrady came in the league. Came in the league. Now Tracy McGrady came in the league back in 1997, 98 season. Now they would traded McGrady for Pippen in 98. By the time Jordan would have came in 2003, Tracy McGrady probably would have been established as the star of the team because in '03 McGrady played for the Orlando Magic. Now if Chicago would have made that deal and McGrady going to the will stay with the Bulls to 2003 and Jordan would came in, will McGrady and Jordan be that dynamic duo? Well, rookie Michael Jordan and a veteran treatment in a 6-year vet Tracy McGrady be that type of guy who would led Bulls to great success. Now, also thing you gotta ask, in '96, I mean 2003, you had LeBron, Melo, Wade, and probably one of the best draft class. Now, if you throw Jordan, Bird, and Magic in that draft class, who will be the best player out that draft class, and who will win Rookie of the Year? Would it still been LeBron? With all that, would LeBron still won Rookie of the Year in 2003? You had Jordan, Bird, and Magic in the draft class, or would it came? Because remember, in 2003, it came down to Melo and LeBron, with LeBron edging out Melo to win the Rookie of the Year. Now, you throw Michael Jordan in the mix, will LeBron still win Rookie of the Year, or would it have been Michael Jordan? I think LeBron was probably still won it because LeBron would have probably still played more minutes than Jordan as a rookie. Now, here's the situations right here. Now, here's another situation right here about Jordan, Bird, and Magic. Now, LeBron stayed in Cleveland for the 7 years before he left to go to the Miami Heat. Now, in those 7 years, what Jordan, Bird be well established in their markets, like LeBron was, and would Chicago or Boston still be that a roadblock for LeBron getting to championship game? Because if Larry, because I don't think Larry Bird was probably would have been on that Boston Celtics team if they were playing LeBron in the NBA playoffs. Because I think he would have been traded for KG, and he would have been playing in Minnesota at the time. Now Jordan, on the other hand, I think him and McGrady would still would have been. I think him and McGrady would have been on that Bulls team, and I think they would have. I think Boston and Chicago would have been a rival team because you would have had Jordan and McGrady playing together against Garnett, Allen, and Paul Pierce. I think Cleveland would have. I think LeBron would have been mad that Cleveland didn't get him another player to get another guy to play with to help him out against Chicago and Boston. And y'all wondering why I say McGrady would have been on the Bulls? Because if the Bulls like if that trade for Pippen would have went down in I think that trade with Pippen would have went down in '98 because the only reason why they didn't go down in '98 because Jordan didn't want Pippen to be traded. I think they go ahead and make that trade with Toronto and McGrady. It does become Chicago Bull. Now the question you got asked: does LeBron still go to Miami after probably losing another series to Boston? And now you got Wade, Boz, and LeBron in Boston, while you got McGrady and Jordan in Chicago, and you still got Paul Pierce, Ray Allen, and KG in Boston. Now it kind of make you kind of wonder: could KG and Jordan be enough to beat that Miami Heat team with Boz, Wade, and LeBron? Because Wade and Jordan will probably would have battle down the wire to see who's gonna win the game. I think if I remember right, I think McGrady started suffering on some type of on his injuries around that time. Okay, hold up. I don't know why I believe that. Oh, okay. Basketball reference. Okay, what year was that? Yeah, McGrady started suffering his injuries around I think around that time. He did retire at 33 years old. That's like so basically I don't think McGrady would have been on the Bulls back in McGrady would not have been on the Bulls. It probably would have been Michael Jordan and some other superstars. Because Jordan would probably have to try to lead the Bulls to the championship basically by himself around that time. Because McGrady would not have been a factor. Like I said, he would not have been on the Bulls team. So basically, if McGrady would have played with Jordan from 2003, it'd probably be one, two, three, four. I think McGrady, McGrady and Jordan were probably in the playing together like what 2 years Because McGrady played like 5 seasons in Houston from '04. Well, again, I think McGrady will play with rookie Michael Jordan because McGrady left Orlando after 2000 for Houston for 2004 all the way up to 2009. I think so. Basically, that Bull team will probably only been Michael Jordan team. So I need to rethink that. And so I think what you gotta think about when you come in the league, it gotta be at the right timing of the NBA. Because if you come at a certain time where you got teams already established and already ready to be championship contenders, you're gonna be behind the 8 ball for the next couple of years. Like we see Boston doing great right now, and they have been to Eastern Conference Finals. But the problem is they still Tatum and Brown are still behind the 8 ball because you still trying because you had LeBron stopping you from making to the finals. You had you had Miami team you should have beat. You should have made to the final, but you didn't. And I understand you hype about beating Brooklyn, but but don't get decided yet because you still got faith KD and Kyrie Irving in the playoffs. So I think Jordan would have did good. I think Jordan would have probably been like a 32, the 32.1 to 28 point guy in the league. But I think the team situation would have probably held him back. Now, the number of titles he would have won, that's a good question. I think Matt Johnson would have probably at least won the same amount of titles if he would stay with the Lakers his whole career with Kobe. I think Johnson would have won 3 titles. Now, Larry Bird won 3 NBA titles with Boston Celtics. Now, Larry Bird would have got traded away from the Boston Celtics to the Minnesota Timberwolves and probably went to another team to try to win a title, like the Kevin Love situation. I think Larry Bird would probably won at least 1 or 2 titles. Now, Jordan, on the other hand, like I love the Bulls. Now, if Jordan would have got in a situation with Chicago where he couldn't win with Chicago, where he decided I got to sign somewhere else that's free agent for me to win championship. I think Jordan would have did that. It would not been a popular choice, but sometimes when it comes down to it, and you feel the pressure from the media to win championship, you gotta deliver, no matter what. Dwayne Warren, you gotta ask yourself, if he would have came in 2003, think about that. You know I'm the biggest. I love Jordan. I'm a big Bulls fan. If he would have came in 2003, and look at the situation around that time and up to that. Now the Bulls. Now Jordan, yeah, he probably would have with the lanes wide open and the 3 point shot established. He probably would have did that. He probably would have got more points in the lane and would have been probably a better 3 point shooter. But if you remember right, the Detroit Pistons made him into a mid range shooter because he used to get fouled hard all the time. And remember, he used to go to the foul line a lot starting off in the league. He was at one point he was like an 85% free throw shooter. Now, you think you got to ask yourself, Jordan? Yeah, Jordan was one of the best players in the NBA history in the league, but he did have good supporting cast around him. Would he have like a good supporting cast around him? Who's going to let him get the average 50 points a game? That's the question you got to ask. Like, is he going to still have a great Is he going to have a still point forward at point guard? Because Pippen was like a point forward at that time at playing point guard in the triangle angle position. He was the like he sacrificed some of his games to help Jordan out because Pippen's main job was to play lockdown defense to make them and feed Michael Jordan. And plus, they criticized some of these guys like and plus no, no. At this time, Jerry Krause is not the GM right now. It's John Paxson, and John Paxson he did okay for a while, but it got to a point where he was doing a bad job putting the team together. I think the Bull team would have struggled till they got probably like a Derek, probably like a till they got a guy like Derrick Rose, Joe Kim Noah, like a Derrick Rose and Joe Kim Noah. Now, you put Jordan with that team, they probably making title runs. And even if Derrick Rose would have got hurt, I think they still would have been had enough with Jordan leading that team. See don't get me wrong, I think the Bulls winning those championships in the '90s was the they won because it was the right timing at the time. Because it's all about timing when it comes to these basketball situations, when it comes to the NBA and all that. Think about if Matt Johnson would have played with Kobe Bryant for like 10 years of his career. How many titles do you think the Lakers would have won with Kobe and Magic Johnson playing together? And plus, if Larry Bird would have played with the Boston Celtics, you don't, do you actually believe he wouldn't have been a Boston Celtics? You say that, but would Magic Johnson would have been playing point guard at that time? Will you been like a 6'9" point guard playing at that time with Kobe Bryant? Or would they try to move him to a different position like a small forward or power forward? And plus, if Larry Bird would have played with the Boston Celtics, you don't think he would have been traded? And plus, you got to think about like this: if Larry Bird would have came to Boston in 2003, would play with Paul Pierce, do they still make that deal to try to get Ron? Do they still make that deal to get Ray Allen and Kevin Garnett? And would use Larry Bird in that deal to get KD to come to Boston? Like there's a lot of questions you gotta answer at that random. That's a lot of questions you gotta answer because if Larry Bird, Michael Jordan, and Matt Johnson would have played today's game, probably so. Because Len Bias was a beast. I'm just talking about in today's game with all the free agent moves that these players make, and with these players not like getting pressure from the media to win titles and win championships and do something. Would they stay with their respective team for their whole career, or would they would force their way out to be traded, or would they would have got guys to come up over here to build a super team? Because we criticize these guys today for trying to build a super team and putting it together. Like we get mad at Kevin Garnett at LeBron James for doing that. Salute Polo. Like would it be the same for Jordan, Bird, and Magic? Would we get mad at them if they did the same thing that LeBron and Guard KD doing? That's the thing you gotta ask. Then will we get on Magic Johnson's ass saying he don't shoot the ball enough? Cause remember we got on Ben Simmons' ass for not shooting the ball enough, not cause he only no. This kind of came to my mind while watching that Milwaukee Bucks and Golden State Warriors game last night. If Magic Johnson would have played with, if Magic Johnson would came in the league in 2003, would he have won championship with Kobe Bryant, and would he still be like played the same position that he played in the '80s? Would he have done the same thing if he did in? That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Dwayne Lawrence, would they have played with Magic, Bird, and Jordan? Would play with their same team for their whole career? Where Magic Johnson would have been a Laker for his whole career, where Larry Bird would have been with Boston Celtics whole career in today's game, or Jordan would have got frustrated and want to leave and play somewhere else. Because think about all the media pressure and the fans get on them for not winning titles. And those same arguments we have about who's better, Jordan or LeBron, will we be still having those same arguments in today? Because we would heard from LeBron fans, well, LeBron did this, LeBron did that. Jordan didn't do all that. Because they would have said Jordan LeBron went to 10 NBA finals. Jordan How many Jordan only went to a cup, didn't go to so many NBA finals. Think about the argument. The argument today would have been totally different. But I believe if Magic Johnson and Kobe Bryant played together, they would have won elite. I think Magic Johnson would have came out better on top of Jordan and Bird if he would have played in the game. Because if Johnson and Kobe Bryant playing together, starting out in 2003, I think Johnson would have at least won. I say 4 titles with Kobe Bryant. Cause on that team, on that 2003 Lakers team, you still had Kobe, you still had Shaq, you would have had Johnson, but as a rookie. But if Johnson still playing as the rookie like he did back in 1979, 80 season, or is he coming off the bench? If that's the case, Dwayne Lawrence, then Jordan, Johnson, and Bird would have been criticized by Stephen A. Smith and Shannon Sharp for not getting it done when it comes to playing when it comes to playing basketball. They would have been criticized because they would have been saying, "Oh, they can't win the big one. They can't win the championship. They can't get to the finals." Because they would praise LeBron way way they would praise LeBron over those guys. I would like. I think Jordan was still would have been the best scorer in the game in the day game, but they still would have criticized him for not winning titles. That's what I'm saying. I think they still would have adopted in the day game. I think Jordan would have been a better 3 point shooter in the day game. I think Jordan was probably average have games where he averaged on 45 to 50 points. He would have had a couple 50-point games. I think I think Bird I think Bird would have been like a basically a 3 point shooter because he was a great. I'm not saying Jordan would not win titles, but you got to ask the question: does he still win the same amount, like 6 titles, or does he win like 1 or 2 titles? I still believe Jordan will win titles. I still Jordan will probably still will win like at least 10 scoring titles like he did in his career. I think he will win. I say 1 or 2 MVPs. Then, like, Polo couldn't got asked if Bird would have put up the same amount of 3 pointers that Steph Curry put up, would he be an all-time 3-point shooter champion over Steph Curry? Would he be the better shooter? So you still think Jordan will win 6 titles with the Chicago Bulls? Because if the Bulls would have been, because if the Bulls will make to the playoffs, I don't think Derrick Rose still get drafted by the Chicago Bulls. I keep telling people Bird was the most dangerous shooter. Like I said, I still feel that I think Magic Johnson would have came out on top a bit in a better situation than playing with Kobe Bryant. And I would, it goes to question what team John Paxson would have put around Jordan around that time to try to help them win titles. Now Larry Bird would have played with Boston his whole career with Paul Pierce. I give Larry Bird a whole lot of respect. And also the question got asked, does Larry Bird still suffer that back injury? Because before the back injury, Larry Bird was probably one of the most unstoppable players in the league. I think they would have traded Larry Bird because Boston would have saw him as damn good. That's what I asked Polo. If Larry Bird will play with Paul Pierce and they were trying to make a deal to get Kevin Garnett, you think they would use Larry Bird in that deal to trade? They would trade him to Minnesota for Kevin Garnett. I believe so, cause Danny Ainge was willing um to do to part ways with certain players just to make it happen. No, he suffered that back injury because he was doing some. He was laying gravel for his mother at that time. If y'all in here, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and shout out to my man Polo on sports and news and entertainment. He got a great channel. Y'all still follow him. I'm just saying the league. I think people would have hated LeBron. I mean, people would have hated Jordan because they would have felt like, man, you stopping LeBron winning championships, man. Why you blocking LeBron's way? Because remember, when KD went to Golden State, it wasn't the fact that they were mad at the fact that yeah he went to Golden State. They were mad at the fact that you stopping LeBron winning more championships. They were pissed about that. Like, cause LeBron James fans were more pissed about, Man, why you stopping my favorite player and winning championship for? Why? How you gonna do that to my favorite player like that? That what they were really pissed about. That was the main reason they were so mad that KD went to Golden State because they knew if you're gonna meet Cleveland in the NBA Finals, uh, you're gonna stop him from winning championship. And just like on Key, Golden State won those two championships with Kevin Durant, and they beat Cleveland. Now, if Jordan would have stopped LeBron, if Jordan would have stopped LeBron going to the NBA Finals, why he played in Cleveland or Miami, they would have been mad at Jordan because they would have felt like, man, why you stopping LeBron? Why you stopping LeBron going to the title? The media would have been pissed at Jordan and Bird for blocking LeBron going to the NBA Finals. I think Jordan and Bird would have got the same treatment that Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving gets on a daily basis. Now, would the league call Jordan the best player of all time, or would it still you still have these people out here saying LeBron's the best player of all time, or would they have said Larry or Magic Johnson is the GOAT? He's the best player of all time because Magic Johnson getting to the finals and winning titles. Or would they have been saying Kobe Bryant the GOAT? That's what I'm saying. LeBron will probably try to join up with one of these guys to try to win a title with them. Basically, you would have had LeBron in Chicago, LeBron with the Lakers right now, like he is, or LeBron playing in Boston, because that's how desperate LeBron would have gotten. I think KD would have probably got desperate too in the same type of way. Or you would have had a situation where Golden State would have been begging Michael Jordan to come play with them. Or it would have been Jordan, Bird, being Jordan or Bird with teams with those guys begging them to come play with Golden State, to come play with the Lakers, to come play with the Cleveland Cavaliers and stuff like that. Like I said, the way free agency is now today is way different like it was back in the 80s and 90s. And what the me and way the media feel the pressure on in the way the media and the feel pressure on these guys to win titles, they will have felt that. And plus, it's about being established and trying to become a billionaire now in the day game. they would Jordan Bird, like Jordan is an entrepreneur right now, just like Magic is. I think Bird would have been in that same mindset too. I think all three of them will try to come out with like shoes, clothes, bu- trying to build that network so they can be like billion dollar billionaire guys. And plus, even though Jordan not on social media like it, I think talking about young Michael Jordan, he will probably have social media just like Magic Johnson, just like Bird. I think they would have had that young man mentality like these young cats got it right now. Like all right, I still think Larry Bird, Michael Jordan, and Magic Johnson are three of the greatest players of all of their eras. Like when you play in the NBA, you're gonna do good in your era because because basically Magic and Bird saved the NBA in the '80s. Then in the '80s and '90s, Jordan established himself as the best player of all time in the NBA. Now you got these people saying all the '90s are weak. Basically, when you got a whole lot of Hall of Fame teams. The only reason why they think that era weak because Jordan dominated that era. Now Jordan did what he had to do to win championship. He can give a fuck about his numbers. What do you expect Michael Jordan to do? Not put up crazy numbers every night? Because he said he tried to play every single game because he wanted to make sure the person in that stands who was seeing him for the first time got the best out of him. And Magic Johnson basically helped establish what the LA Lakers was today. Because if Magic Johnson don't do what he do for the LA Lakers, there is no Kobe Bryant playing for the Lakers. He probably don't get picked. He probably don't get traded to the Lakers. He probably stay with the Charlotte Hornets. You probably don't get no Shaq coming to the Lakers. And Larry Bird did what he supposed to do in the '82 with the Boston Celtics. He kept that train that Boston was already on going at that time. And yeah, if Lynn Bass would not have died, Lynn Bass would probably have kept that train going in the '90s too, playing against Michael Jordan, playing against Dominique Wilson, playing against those guys. I think Lynn Bass, Reggie Lewis would have been down that door, but Lynn Bass died, Reggie Lewis died, and probably Paul Pierce would not have been drafted by a Boston Celtics. So when it comes to NBA, you got to think about all the situations that happen to make these teams what they are in the timing and era of the game at around that time. Like I said, I think Larry Bird, Matt Johnson, and Michael Jordan would have did good, but I think Matt Johnson would have came out on top of Jordan, Bird, Melo, LeBron. Because Matt Johnson would have been in a better situation with playing with Kobe Bryant, playing with O'Neal for a couple years. Exactly the Wayne Lawrence. 'Cause remember, they had a coin toss. Was Magic Johnson going to go to the Lakers or was he going to go to the Bulls? Now, imagine Magic Johnson went to the Bulls and Michael Jordan came in '84, still came in '84. You would have had a team with Magic Johnson and Michael Jordan. Can you imagine that? That would have been something. Imagine Jordan, Johnson, Jordan. Then Pippen still comes in '87. The next thing you know, you got a team with Johnson, Jordan, and Pippen. Will the Lakers still become a dynasty if Magic Johnson went to the Chicago Bulls? Now, Magic Johnson, Michael Jordan still had a hard time to get the Boston Celtics team. Exactly, Boston would dominate the '80s if Johnson goes to the Bulls. I think if Johnson and Jordan would have played together and Pippen still comes in '87, I don't think they would. I think they will win their first. They will probably win their first title in, I say, 1990. I think Horace Grant would still play with the Bulls. I think the Bulls would still have trouble with the Pistons because they would still have those Jordan rules. And I think and Magic Johnson would have that, probably came out with the AIDS virus, or maybe not. Maybe that AIDS virus. Maybe if he would not would live the life he lived at the time, passing around females. Because I believe Magic Johnson would have played all those years. I think he would have retired in I think '94, '95, just like Jordan retired. So yeah, Polo, I saw that, man. Like, Virginia Tech actually beat Duke last night in the ACC championship game. Man, the league got to be down this year, man. Because last year Georgia Tech won, now Virginia Tech won. I'm like, are y'all serious? Come on, man. Y'all can't be serious. So, um, don't get me wrong, but I like the fact that Jordan had the greatest, probably one of the greatest career of 15 years, because he did his thing for the Bulls for 15 years. Magic Johnson did his thing from 81, from the 80s and 90s, from the 80s and 90s, just like Bird did too. But I can't be like, oh, Jordan will win 10 titles, stuff like that. I gotta be honest. I gotta be honest. I gotta be honest with myself. I gotta be honest about the situation. If I'm not honest about the situation, then I'm just being a fanboy for the team. Like I've been telling people for years, like I would never be a fan of an individual. I'm a fan of that team. I'm the fan of what the like when it comes to putting the team together. You got to think about what the team gonna look like. Jordan had a good team around him, even though even though he used to put those guys, he used to not take away their food and stuff like that, and he used to get in fights with them. They still took care of business on that court. So, and plus Magic Johnson had a good cast around him too, just like Larry Bird had a good supporting cast around him. When you have a good supporting cast around them has to do their job, who don't cheat the game, you're going to win. Because you see a guy like James Harden trying to take the easy way out, and has that helped him win any type of championship? No. You see this Lakers team struggling this year because they thought putting this team together they're gonna easily run the West. That's not the case this year. And you saw the Brooklyn Nets, who probably what 7 or 8 place in the playoff race. They've been suffering through injuries. Kyrie Irving playing part time. You see how that's working out right now. So it's if you, I'm just saying, uh, when it comes to this NBA, you got to think about all type of situations that happens on the teams and on the court. Like every player is one twisted ankle away from injury. Because if Jordan, like think about Jordan broke his foot, he could not wait to get back on that court. Now in today's game, if you kind of break your foot, you are not gonna see a play almost like till you feel, because he's not gonna risk his career and be out a couple more months, because he want trying to build himself more established, trying to get more wealthy. So you can suffer some a hangnail and feel like you need to be out for like 2 to 3 months. Like ain't like the game. Like you got certain players who are not tough like the players from the past. Because any type of small injury, they ain't gonna play. They gonna take nights off. That's what they do. Cause most of the players feel like they don't owe nobody anything. They gonna try to make all the money they can for their playing days are over with. So I'm gonna go ahead and end this one. Let me know down in the comments what y'all. Let me know down in the comments what y'all think. Even when I'm not here. How would Jordan, Bird, and Jonathan actually fit into day game? Will they still have the same success that they had in their day, or would they struggle getting the same type of success? Other than that, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button so we can get the notifications. I want to thank Polo and Dwayne Lawrence for coming by supporting me. I want to thank everybody who's been supporting me so far. Other than that, if you want, you can still hit that cash out. I really appreciate that. It's Lou the Writer Sport. I mean Lou the Writer, and I probably talk to y'all later. Peace.